Truckerhood family. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm standing outside of my local police station, and this is somewhere 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I would have never stand in the parking lot. Would have never crossed my mind. And I keep getting asked the question over and over. I see it in the comments a lot. Hey man, I got this record. Some people have even emailed me about some of the things that they feel may hinder them from becoming a truck driver. And for a long time, I had this story that I kind of wanted to put out or talk about with you guys. And believe it or not, man, I wasn't always a saint. And there was a time where I thought I would never drive a truck again because of some poor decisions that I made in the past. And I believe my story is living proof that everybody has a chance in trucking, and to not worry so much about your background. But the first step is getting that CDL. And man, I was advised by, I talked about this, making this video with my mom, and she kept saying, "Don't do it, don't make this video." And I understand where my mom's coming from. She likes the light that everyone sees me in now. But yeah, there was, we all made mistakes in our lives, and you know, we all get put to the test. There's no testimony without it, right? So I kind of wanted to share my story to just, help other truck drivers that feel as though, truck driving may not be an option because you have a background. And however this plays, it plays. Mom said not to do it, but God said do it. So I had to listen to that. And hey, guys, bear with me while I tell you all this story. And yeah, let's get into it. So all my life, I had one goal. I just wanted to get out the hood. I was tired of living the way I was living. I was tired of being around people who didn't have the same dreams as me. The people who I thought were my friends, they actually wasn't friends. They were just people who were okay with being in the hood with me. Now that I think about it. And that's where I went wrong. Kept putting myself around people who don't have the same goals, ambitions, or dreams as I do. But in a way, I couldn't blame them. I mean, something that I seen in my head was something that we didn't see every day. You don't see people make it out, do something better with their lives. It's kind of rare. Even the ones that went to college end up back. So how did I ever see myself changing my life through trucking? But I tell you what, I did know one thing though. If I kept doing the same thing, I was gonna keep getting the same results. And that wasn't an option. So it's time to go to CDL school. Going to CDL school was like, for me, it was like going to college. Getting my CDL for me was like I just got a bachelor's degree. Like it was like I got where I'm from at, not a lot of people were at the time were doing that. It was the military. Some of the people did go to college, but after they got out of college, man, they were $60,000 in debt and making $15, $16 an hour. So that wasn't an option for me. I seen the money where I seen the money in trucking, and I knew that's where it was at for me. But little I know how fast things would change. All right, so let's get into the story, y'all. I just, I like walking out in the woods, man. I don't know why, man. I guess I'm a different type of black person, but I don't know. I like the sound of nature, the water, the trees, man. They giving off the oxygen for me to breathe, and I give it back with a little bit of this carbon. But yeah, man. So I got in the trucking, got my CDL, man. Ecstatic, man. Ready to start. First person to make it out, and money was coming in good. But we all know how difficult things can get when you in a relationship in trucking. And I came home to find out things wasn't what I thought they was at home. So this was with my ex at the time, and yeah, I knew for a while. I just didn't say nothing, kept it to myself. I knew for months. I was saving up. I just got in trucking. I'm saving up. And I'm like, you know what? I got to get before I even say anything, start an argument. Then we over here going back and forth with the kids and trying to figure out who going to live where and who take what. Let me just get my money together. She could keep it all. So I went back on the road knowing all this stuff was on my mind, and I let it build up and build up and build up. And man, I ended up coming home again. But when I came home, man, it was really just to see the kids. I came home. I was like, I'm going to go kick it with the kids. I'm not paying her no mind. And that's that. So I went and kicked it with the kids. And I told her, I said, look, I'm going to my cousin's house. I'm going to go chill there probably for the weekend. So I went to my cuz, and me and cuz, I'm explaining to him what's going on and this and that. He like, damn, cuz, why you ain't say nothing? You could came stay with me. And I probably could have, but I was so embarrassed to talk about it. You know what I mean? It was just, I didn't bring it up to my mom. I didn't bring it up to my brothers. I didn't bring it up to nobody. He was like one of the first people I told. Him and one of my other brothers. I told him later, after the fact, because he didn't know what was going on. He knew there was some tension. There was something weird going on in the house, but he ain't really know until I told him. But so, my cuz had a couple of his homies that I know from around the way, but they wasn't really my homies, you know what I mean? And they ended up coming over, and they like, man, you look like you stressed, man. Let's go out. Man, we need to go out tonight. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's what I do need. But I know that's not it. That's not what I needed. It was the worst decision I made. We ended up going to this bar, man. It was in the hood. It was in the exactly what I got in the truck and to stay away from. I went to resolve my problems. I don't know why. I thought that was going to be the fix, but it didn't. So we end up going out, and the first bar we go to, my cuz is tapping me, because this is when I got home. I had just, when you going through something and you start getting a little bit of money, first thing you do is you go buy something to make yourself happy. So I went and bought a car, and I went and bought a brand new Charger, V8 Hemi, and this is way back. This is when they first came out. So nobody was even on them like that. And we ride in, and we end up going to the hood in the brand new Charger Hemi. I got the pipes growling and everything. It's bombed out tinted, black on black, and I put rims on it, black rims, everything. So went all out, because, in my mind, I'm about to jump back in the dating scene. I gotta look like I got my stuff together, you know what I mean? So we go out, it's 4 of us, we riding, and we in the car, we just vibing. We go to this bar, and this bar is, like I said, it's in the hood. And everything is everything. I'm thinking everything's good. The music was good. I went to go order a drink, and before the bartender bring the drinks over, my cuz tapped me, and he like, man, something don't feel right in here, cuz. I'm like, you kind of feel that too? He like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the looks and stuff we getting in here. So I said, all right, well, let's spin out then. Like, we ain't even gonna waste no time. He like, all right, bet. So the other 2 dudes that's with me come out. They get in the car. Whole time, They drinking in the back seat, smoking my brand new wheel. I kind of wanted to say something, but I was kind of enjoying just feeling free for a minute and just doing me. I don't know why I didn't say nothing, but I probably should have. They asked me, and I say, go ahead. So as we riding, uh, we going down the highway, and sure enough, like I got the music up enough that they in the back they can't hear me, but me and my cousins up front, and we kind of talking about it. And as we talking about it, man, I could feel my rage going up because it's in my mind again. You trying to get it out your head, but it's just it won't go. So we riding, and as we riding, man, I see the cops behind me, and I see him coming. He didn't turn his lights on yet, and in my mind, I hear it. Well, they did. I heard them two dudes in the back seat say, "Man, the cops behind you. Man, it's the Charger. You better punch it." And I don't know what made me do it, but something did. Something told me, "Go ahead, punch it, man. They got it." I'm going through so much at the time. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? If they want me, they got it. They got it. They gonna have to earn it. So I punch it as we going, and we riding, and I'm thinking it's only one, so I'm good. Hey, how y'all doing? So we end up, I'm thinking it's only one, and I'm good. Nothing to worry about. It's a little V6, probably it was like a Ford Explorer or something. I'm like, I could do him. Get on the highway, I'm punching it, man. It took matter, probably 5 seconds later, 4th of July behind me. I don't know where all them cops came from. It was everywhere. Uh, I did some driving, something I'm not proud of it, but yeah, I ended up getting away.
He's got to be somewhere. He was doing a good 130, 140.
Yeah, well, you called him, or somebody called him down Gay Street and made a left down, or made a left down the road. I've been sitting right here as soon as that announcement came out. He never came this way.
PSP and I were up on 202, and they saw him turn off. I missed it. They saw him come off the ramp and go down to Gay Street. I missed it all. I have no idea where he went.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. He didn't come by this way.
Yeah.
That call was made.
I was too far off the ramp. My LPR couldn't even pick it up, so.
I mean, there's a lot of places you guys ducked off in here, though.
Yeah, I know. It's a black or dark blue, brand new Charger. The newer model, not like this one.
I haven't seen it at this spot. It hasn't come this direction.
Fuck, he was rolling.
And we parked the car, we get out, we went out for the night. Party like nothing ever happened.
Bailed, huh?
There you go.
Check my boss, see if he wants to hook it.
Yeah, we got cars to the west of us. Just start checking around.
20 to 32, the driver bailed and took off on foot. This is definitely the car. Do you have any problems if we hook it?
And hid the car and everything, and I figured I'm gonna come back to it in a couple days. We'll just lift home. We wasn't too far from home, so we catch an Uber or lift home. I'll come back. Man, they had cops hiding. They had them hiding in the like bushes and stuff, waiting for me days later to come get this car. Came to get the car, they jump out like, "Hey man, can I see your ID?" Get the ID. They bring me, put me in cuffs and everything, and they like, "Yeah, so where were you the other night?" This and that. I said, "Man, I was home, man. I was at home with my cousin. I was asleep." Pretty much tell them I ain't had nothing to do with that. I could talk about it now because I'll tell y'all in the story. And I go to they take me in a holding cell. They still trying to question me and everything with the fingerprint, but I'm not really telling them nothing. And next thing I know, like 10 minutes later, they come knocking on my cell saying, "You out." I'm like, all right. So I leave and I see my little brother, see my little brother and like two of his friends out there. They came and picked me up. But when we riding, they like, how you get out? I'm thinking they bailed me out. They like, I'm like, I don't know. I thought y'all bailed me out. He's like, called a lawyer. Come to find out, my lawyer already, put the word in there, get me released. Told him I didn't say nothing, so they couldn't hold me. So he ended up letting me go. But man, I ended up having to go to court. The lawyer wanted $12,000. He said he was gonna push the case back. I didn't have 12 grand at the time. I was saving up, but he was like, I want $12,000. This is an easy case. I could beat it. He's like, I could beat it because they never saw you driving. They said it was a black Mustang. You was in a Charger, and they never see you get in and out the car. They don't have no evidence that you was ever driving. So I could easily beat it. Give me the 12 grand. So I give the lawyer the 12 grand, and he kind of wins, but he kind of loses. We go to court. They pull me in court. They leave out. The judge says the only reason I'm being convicted because she knows it was me because I have a professional driver's license. I have a CDL. My CDL was the reason I end up having to get my license suspended. I got they they gave me a little bit of jail time. It wasn't much. It was nothing. It was like I spent the night. But they gave me the part that hurt the most was they suspended my license. I was trying to keep that. And I ended up losing 2 years of driving. I just got my license. I just got my CDL. This is 12 years ago. And man, in my head I'm thinking I'm never going to drive again. It's going to go on my record. Nobody's ever going to pick me up because I went back to the hood when my whole mission from the beginning was to get out. Why did I ever go back? And yeah, I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was like, I threw my life away over some girl who didn't care about me and some friends that wasn't my friends, all because I wanted to go back. As you can see now, I ain't never going back. I ain't never in my life going back. But yeah, I had to sit out for 2 years. That 2 years was the most excruciating years of my life. Man, I had to go back to doing what I was doing. I was back in the hood. You know what I mean? I was the laughing stock. Car got repossessed. Man, I was back in the warehouse, man, was making $400 a week. And, you just came from making 12, 14, 1600 a week. I'm back to making $450 a week. 8-hour shifts, taking 30-minute breaks, man. I mean, I know we take a 30-minute break in trucking, but it don't gotta be a 30. You can do what you want. You can take it when you want. I was timed on what time I was what time I was gonna be hungry. You're gonna be hungry at 11:30, and you're not gonna be hungry by 12. Get back in here at work and start working in this factory. Man, I hated it for 2 years. So, man, I was trying to be as cautious as possible. Of course, sometimes I had to, move the car, and the cops would, as soon as they would come to my house and just wait for me to get in that car. And I had to keep buying a car and switching, keep buying a car and switching, just so they wouldn't pull over my ex at the time. But yeah, it was miserable, man. And if you think she like started treating me crazy when she was treating me crazy when I was making money, can you believe how I was being treated after that? Now I ain't even got the money to figure out how to get out of here. So it just made it even worse, and I had to stick it out. But yeah, man, I ended up getting it back, and when I got it back, man, I made that promise to myself, man, I'm doing everything by the book. I will never ever lose my L again. And I thought a job would never pick me up again. The first company to pick me up was Covenant. As soon as I got my license back, Covenant was a second chance company at the time. They asked me to just write them a letter explaining exactly what I did and, how I feel about it. Am I remorseful? And man, absolutely. Absolutely unremorseful. I would never do nothing like that again. And please just give me this second chance. And Covenant, sure enough, man, they called me in, told me come on in, and let me drive again. And from there on, I've been behind a truck ever since. But it goes to show, man, no matter what you got going on or what's on your record, in trucking, you can have a second chance. There's always going to be a company out here willing to work with you. And for me, man, I thought I would never drive again. I had fleeing and eluding, reckless, like 6 counts, reckless endangerment, all types of crazy stuff they put on there. And yeah, it goes, that cop in that courtroom, man, he wanted to make sure I never drove again. That's all he wanted. He wanted to make sure I never drove a car ever again in my life. And God had other plans for me. So, yeah, man, that's my story for the people who think, hey, man, I got a record. I had this. I got a DUI. I got whatever the case may be. Man, with time in trucking, there's always going to be somebody to pick you up. You get a DUI, it may be 2-3 years you got to sit out. You got, you had accident on there, it might be a year. But yeah, it's still worth getting and it's still worth pursuing if you got the same dream that I had of just doing something better with your life. That's my message for today, y'all. And as always, it's love. Catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.